Hello, everybody, this is Purge, and I'm bringing you guys a replay commentary of Skywrath Mage. This hero, I feel pretty good at right now. I think the hero is not very popular in the meta. In fact, close your eyes for 1 second. Actually, what I'm going to do, to make sure I don't spoil you guys what happens in the game. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to double check the trends. And then find Skywrath Mage in here. I'm curious what his average win rate is. I can't imagine it's super high, because of various reasons. They just nerfed Atos, for example, which was an item that almost all supports were buying in the patch, and that very directly affects Sky because it's an item he buys. So this win rate's not great, about 48% in Divine and above clubs. So, but I like picking the hero sometimes. I feel pretty attuned to the hero. I got the old Arcana. What is it? What do you even do? How do you build your Arcana? You know, like, does it scale in some way? Does it track something? Does it get better? Actually, I don't even know. But I use it. Okay, so things about Skywrath. Number 1, his strength gain is mediocre at 2. His agility gain is atrocious at 0.8, which is very funny because he's a bird with wings. So you would think his agility would be good. But a little story time. When this hero first came out, this was when I was playing in Korea on Zephyr. And I think he was in pro level games. Like, you could pick him. And at the time, I discovered that he was broken, or at least really strong. I felt really good playing him in pubs, him and Ogre Magi. And I told everybody on my team, like, I think these two heroes were good, but nobody else was playing them, so we didn't pick them. And then when TI rolled around, every pro team started picking these two heroes. So I was very right. I was still ass, so, like, we still, like, lost the TI qualifiers or whatever, but that was, I thought, kind of funny. And what was interesting about Sky then is his ulti damage. It triggered over a shorter period of time, so it dished out the damage faster. And his base damage and his attack speed were just really good. So it was very easy to just, like, beat people up repeatedly, pretty much. That's kind of how it worked. So right now, his agility gain is atrocious. His base armor is atrocious. And his strength gain is just okay at 2. His int gain is really good at 4.1. And what this basically gives him is that if he has really high agility or int gain, that means his base damage is going to go up decently over time. And his mana pool is going to go up pretty well over time. And also his magic resistance and his mana regen coming from int are going to go up pretty well over time. So generally, this is kind of how you want to play the hero. You want to, this is really nice. I managed to hit both heroes with my concussive shot. You basically want to leverage concussive shot level 1 to do a bunch of damage to your opponents. It's an amazing level 1 skill. It does 120 damage. It costs 80 mana, which means that you have a pretty good chance of harassing people for very free damage, and then you get a bunch of right clicks afterwards, which is the advantage. So look at all the damage I've done so far. It's pretty fantastic. And since my mana pool is so high, I don't really need that many mana regen item type things to be successful on harassing my opponents. And this, I grabbed the common facet. This is not the one that I get when I play core Skywrath Mage usually. This is stupid to walk back up into him. He was very likely going to slap me there. But when you deal damage to an enemy hero, you get a magic damage barrier of 10 plus 1 per his hero level. So right now it only gives me an 11 barrier because I'm level 1. But ultimately this ends up adding up to be like a decent amount as time goes on here. I was late to use my sentry or anything like that, so that was a little bit of a sloppy play by me, but they're going to get a pull off as a result. But I will at least get some of the experience, which makes this slightly less bad. But yeah, each source of magic damage that you deal to your opponent is basically what will help guarantee that you get a kill, and barrier. So multiple sources of damage are the best way to get a huge barrier. The best way to do that is your ulti, because it basically does like a series of nukes over time. So that's the best one to give you barrier, but just spamming Arcane Bolt and your other spells can help also. I was trying to get some of these last hits here. Wanted to get this range creep really badly.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And now I 100% messed up. Didn't use my wand. I should have bought out a little bit before I died, but I was trying too hard to get the experience for that range creep. I didn't need to play that aggressive, especially on a hero against two heroes that have mobility skills. It's kind of scary. Here's your normal level 2 skill build. One other thing that's really powerful about Sky that makes him kind of strong in a lot of ways is his spell lifesteal innate. This is just built in. You just always have 25% spell lifesteal. So you basically have a hero that has kind of low raw HP and has really, really, really bad armor. and you pair that with a hero that actually has really good sustain and lifesteal and ability to stay alive. So every time I cast a spell here, I did 83 damage nuke. I just healed like 20 HP from that, which is really nice. I'm going to use a nuke on him because I want to offset some of this heal, and actually got him pretty close to dying, which is cool. I'm going to pop tangos. I also got more stats. I got the circlet in this case because I wanted to get null talismans. Now, null talismans at times are a little bit out of favor on this hero because usually you kind of just wanted to rush the Atos as fast as possible. This is too far forward by me. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to get another spell out in time, but that was just sloppy by me. Did I take tower damage? I can't remember. But I have to be careful of the Dawnbreaker. He does a high physical damage attack with this. And Quap, of course, can blink and gap close me. So I'm doing a good job harassing them, and D-Dog is getting like a shitload of net worth compared to what they are. But I need to be more careful to not feed away gold. I think it's still going fine, though. Okay, so the reason nulls were less popular was because you were less about a spam hero, and in the past you were a little bit more just about doing as much damage as you could with one gank. And this kind of led pro players to even go like a 1-1-4 skill build to max out Ancient Sealed, so it did more damage, as much damage as possible, basically. And then they transitioned that into basically getting Atos, and then with Atos just walking around the map to get kills. That playstyle is still fine and popular. I shouldn't be running right here because they could easily double jump me. I thought they might actually. But I can't contest this now if Dawn runs at me, so I kind of have to just walk to the right. That was very stupid of me to use Concussive Shot the second I turned the corner, but on the bright side, he doesn't know that I didn't use it. If there isn't vision of anybody, then it's not going to hit. I think Gabbo was asking for stacks, so I decided to walk over and stack. This is something I wish I was better at as a 4 is the chaotic laning stages tend to be a little too much for me, in that shit happens, and then it leads me away from getting things done on the map. This was really surprising to me that he blinked like this.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Got another nuke in a few seconds. Interesting blink. I'm gonna make sure he doesn't go this way. Luckily, October managed to run him down, which is a nice little rundown here. Here's another good thing about Null Talisman: increases max mana bonus, and since my hero is one of the highest mana heroes in the game, it's very good for us getting that. Did he have any Moonstone? He did have a little bit. Decided to block this with a sentry. Want to make sure he doesn't get a last hit if possible. It's like the least I could do here while I'm in this area. And I'm going to get an Ancient Seal here, now a level 4. In some lanes, I might be going 2 points Arcane Bolt, but because I'm against a Queen of Pain, and because Centaur also does have quite a little bit of magic damage between Double Edge and Stomp, I think having this is just going to be good. 20% increased magic damage is fantastic this game here. At the right time, you know, it could certainly lead to us killing the Queen of Pain. I'm a little unsure what to do right now. I could TP probably. I kind of want to stay in the lane and zone. It's too early to stack. It's too early to go for the Wisdom Shrine. So I'm kind of just like in a holding pattern here. Or I was just waiting for like a hero to show. He ends up using Blink to dodge that, which is wise. One thing I should talk about really quickly is the scaling of Concussive Shot. If you look at the numbers on this skill, it's a very, very efficient skill. I said it was one of the best 1-point skills. And that's because it does 120 damage, and it slows for 4 seconds, and you're a ranged hero. So that means not only do you get to do a lot of damage, we were talking about going for this kill, but I did it at kind of a bad time. I silenced him to make sure that this would hit, but it cost me a lot of mana to do that, because the Concussive Shot, as you know, has very good numbers. It's only 85 mana. It basically goes, every skill point, it only goes up by 5 mana, which is incredible, and the damage goes up by 60, which is subpar, but it's just a really good level 1 skill, pretty much, that helps justify it. I'm checking the range of this to decide when I can cast a spell. I'm putting some silence here onto the Void Spirit here. I probably should have targeted somebody else, though. I did not do a very good job on that part. And it's time to leave now. Putting all that damage into Void Spirit when he had shields from his 3rd skill just wasn't a good idea. I should be using this to nuke them and pull the wave if possible. They need vision of me to do the pull though. And I briefly dropped my Null Talisman to pick up to use my wand to get a little bit more mana regen here. But yeah, fast Null Talismans without boots, very normal in this here. Your base movement speed is really high at 325. So you don't. It's not uncommon for Skywraths to skip or delay boots for a lot of the game, just because they kind of just need to be in the right place at the right time. And if they do get gone on, usually they don't have a chance of escaping, is what ends up happening. I should have silenced this Witch Doctor much earlier, but I did not. Just asking to die, basically. And then they rotated in at the same time. Like, the second I saw the Witch Doctor, if I just silence that guy, he doesn't stun me. I have the chance to maybe run away, but just ended up being a nice gank by them. So they have a pretty nice advantage at this point. I would say my laning stage is been subpar, but not like insanely subpar. And I got mystical enhancement, by the way, for mana regen. Okay, so talking about concussive shot, it's a great skill at low levels. You don't really need to max it out. If you are planning to farm creep waves, then it is recommended that you get more levels of this, because if there's no heroes around and you use it on a creep wave, that creep wave will take AoE damage, right? So it's a really good skill for potentially farming waves. But if you are playing in other roles, it's less important typically right now. I've seen other players who play Sky go for a max Arcane Bolt build now, which is maybe a long time coming because it is a pretty good skill. And as you get points in your ulti, your spell lifesteal goes up. And it's kind of another way to farm, basically, because if you get a shard, it makes 2 Arcane Bolts instead of just 1. That used to be part of the Ags upgrade. In fact, Ags doubles your other 3 skills, so your Ags is worse, but your shard is better, because it allows you to set up on getting kills. This looked kind of unfortunate here. I usually mouse over concussive shock because I want to see how close I am. And then I used it the second he went invisible, which was really garbage of me. That felt really bad because that's a lot of our damage here. I'm going to silence the Void Spirit because he's the one that's likely going to jump in here. I let way too many zombies build up on me. Look how much shield I'm getting from this, by the way. It's kind of cool. So I would say bad fight for us. I fucked it up by wasting my concussive shot. If that lands on the Undying while he's in the trees, I just silence him before it hits him. He takes bonus damage. Oracle hits him with nukes. He takes a lot of damage. He probably goes to like half HP at least from the initial volley, and we probably just kill him. And then with him dying, I maybe hit 6 earlier, and then we keep fighting. But instead, like, we fight into like Tombstone, and it was just a mix of problems. I'm also buying blood grenades too, which are actually really good on Skywrath Mage. Is that a DD? It is a DD. I kind of want to go dive, but it's kind of dangerous here. But we did pull the creep wave, which is good, and the catapult died, so this is ultimately not that bad. The reason blood grenades are good is because it's more magic damage, which would be amped by Ancient Seal, which is slightly cool. And then the extra slow paired with concussive shot is just really good, because what it does is helps keep people under Mystic Flare longer. I don't know why I can see their ward when I'm in player perspective on my team, but for some reason I can. It's kind of nice to know that it's there, though. I think we saw that. I saw this bug when I recorded a replay commentary last night, too. So I'm queuing up Atos now, which is the ideal item on my hero. Here's another good thing about Null Talismans, is that when you do max out Arcane Bolt, it does damage based on how much int you have. So having an extra 10 int here means that my Arcane Bolt does an extra 15 damage, which is pretty nice. And same thing for Atos. Atos increasing your int also gives you something really nice to work for here. I'm looking to stack these. See, I see that they cleared my large camp at some point. He's over here fighting people, clearly. They're kind of lacking on hard stuns is what seems to be the case here. Gabbo is asking me for help, I think, in clearing the Ancients because he was having a little bit of a tough game. Yeah, he's pretty behind here. But he was laying against an Undying, so it's not too surprising. So I decided to walk over and use Concussive Shot because it's it'll do a little bit of damage to them. Make it a little bit more likely that we clear these. Alright, so you clean those nice, and that's going to catch them up a little bit closer to everybody else. So that felt kind of good. There's October doing some wild stuff. The Stampede is a little bit late there, unfortunately. And they end up denying the tower, but we can kind of sit around in case they dive. I've got this nice tree line as well. Kind of a waste to nuke him when he's got his shield up here. Not really safe for me to walk here with no boots, so I decided to stay to the left instead. going to try to pull the creep wave if I can. I figured he wouldn't be... Ooh, that was really bad. That slow kind of guarantees that he goes on me. Look at all this nice shield. I did something stupid and then he dove on me, and then having the Oracle behind me just made it kind of easy. And then he just gave me the old nuke. Wasn't that fun? I didn't even need to TP to Fountain, but I did it because I was scared that I was going to die. We just crushed them in that fight. I would love to see a fight recap. Because basically I just hit the Void Spirit with... Where's the fight recap? I want to see how much damage I did. Don't tell me it's not there. What's going on? No fight recap, I guess. Okay, that's a bummer. But I did like a full ulti with Ancient Seal, pumping magic resistance into myself, which certainly stops Void Spirit's damage. And I silenced him too, so when he goes on me, he's kind of just committed, right? He jumps on me, but what happens afterwards? And when Arcane Bolt is maxed out, it's a 2-second cooldown. With 77 int, it's doing about... What's half of that? 35? So it's basically like 150 damage. This is a nice little gank. I knew it's good to play near Sven, because Sven is a stun, and a stun is always going to make my combo easier to land. And I wanted to put wards really wide out here in the lane, because I wanted to see them approaching our jungle. If I ward like somewhere over here, we're basically giving up all of this area as a place that we can get gold. So it's a little bit safer to play slightly closer into this lane here. Killing this guy's going to be hard with all my ulti, because it does do 800 damage. So that 1 minute cooldown is slightly restrictive, but my mana's been coming back decently fast after this point, so it's not all bad here. I'm going to do a little stack here. The Arcane Bolt instantly aggroes them, which is nice. Okay, I did do the double stack. That's good. The only downside is they might invade, so hopefully for me, I don't have to fight to the death here. And I'm sending out the courier now to get my Atos ready. I really choked my ulti, but it's okay. I end up dying, but I got a kill first, so I think it's worth it. Experience for me is all good. Now any skill points that I have, I'm going to be putting into Ancient Seal. Well, that's unfortunate. He died in base. Because the scaling on Concussive Shot is not that important, the slow doesn't scale. All I do is get damage and a little bit of cooldown. It's just better to do 5% more magic damage on all of my skills, because the more damage I do, the more spell lifesteal I also get. So here's another nerf that actually hits Skywrath Mage a little bit, is that Kaya is nerfed for Sky. This is kind of just an unfortunate side thing that happened. Here's Atos 12 int, not really much, used to be 15 I think. But Kaya getting nerfed, Kaya used to be like the best Skywrath item, because it gave him int, which is more damage with Arcane Bolt, gives him spell amp, which is more damage for all of his spells, and gives him more spell lifesteal because he is doing more damage. Gives him mana regen amp because he needs a lot of mana regen. And then it also used to give you spell lifesteal enhancement, which for almost all heroes in the game is not that good, because you have to also buy spell lifesteal. But Skywrath Mage just had spell lifesteal built into his innate, so that just got buffed up, which was really cool. That's no longer the case, but it's still really good to get Kaya on this hero in my opinion. But
Radiant are scanning.
I could have certainly casted spells on him a little bit earlier if I wanted to, but just a little ulti there on this Witch Doctor. I have to cast spells somewhere. I'm going to die 100%. Got all my spells off. Trading myself for like a Maledict combo doesn't scare me that much personally. That was really close. I don't know. Did he dispel or something? I don't think so. He's doing a nice job here. The Atos was a little goofy, but I could have probably ultied and then Atos'd a second later, because at that point he's not going to react, right? And he was standing still anyways. That might have been a little cleaner, but I still did get all of my damage here. I was really trying to put a ward down here, but I could have also just maybe ran. I really didn't want this Undying to hit me a single time, because when he does, I'm 100% dead, but And now that I'm kind of committed here,
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I lived for quite a while, which was kind of good. I definitely did some good damage.
Dire's bottom
October is low.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Okay. What's he doing? Is there something? Bonus critical damage. Okay.
Radiant structures.
Not great. I just wanted to put this ward down and I was a little bit slow to do it. I bought boots here because this is a case where having boots might have kept me alive. Because once I was in danger, I just could have gotten out. And I do have some item slots that I can spend for the boots here. I wonder if Sister Shroud helped keep me alive. I didn't pay attention, but I'm sure it did against Undying and Void Spirit and stuff like that. They have a moderate gold advantage right now, but I do feel like very much like I can get kills and stuff. Ooh, that was a weird place to smoke, I suppose, if they had an invasion there at all. Put a ward down. I don't know if that one gets spotted. We do see the Quap, though, and I just wanted to go for this kill, pretty much. Just need a Silence or an Atos. Nice and easy. Yeah, me and Gavin did a nice job making kills happen this game. These little moments are huge for keeping the Quap shut down. Is that my ward from earlier? It was, yeah. That was the one that I placed last time I came and ganked here, I think. Neutral item-wise, I got Mystical, Magic Resistance, Mana Regen. I don't know if I need the Magic Resistance that bad, but I also... Poor Man's Shield is extremely good on my hero. If I got something like a Searing Signet, I would probably get that instead. And the cast range neutral item is also quite good. I'm sorry, I'm thinking enhancements. Alright, in terms of these, Tumbler's Toy is not bad. Searing Signet is really good. Essence Ring can be quite good. Mana Draught can be quite good for giving you mana, but it's a little overkill for me, in my opinion. I think Poor Man's Shield is extremely value on my hero because damage block applies before armor. So that means people with really low armor get more value out of Poor Man's Shield. If you have high armor, then you're getting less value from Poor Man's Shield. So anytime they right-click me, if I'm getting damage block of 30, I'm pretty happy with that. Because Quap's hitting for like 150, so I'm basically just stopping like 20% of her physical damage pretty much. Wasn't sure I wanted to fully commit here. He's in a little bit of a trouble here. I needed to just leave. Definitely scared. Glad I bought boots here. I was very scared I was going to map click. They just have really bad catch. It's so funny. And I'm just alive and they have the back. I felt like we had good vision this game too. So I was pretty happy. So, little nuke the wave, pull the creep waves to me. I'm queuing up my shard now. It would be good if I could get it for free, but if I can't, that's alright too. Yeah, shard into Kaya sounds pretty solid. I'm doing 286 with my arcane bolts right now. If there's a stampede, I feel like I must show up. Kind of nice. It's a bit of a poor choice for Dawnbreaker to ulti there, considering that we use Stampede, so we're very likely to show up for that fight, I feel like. Especially if it was on our side of the map, so... Like, maybe he could have done some crazy stuff. He's got Ags, I guess, to blame. I don't even know. But, you know, he doesn't have any magic resistance items. He hasn't queued up a cloak at all. So, when I use Ancient Seal on him, he's taking, like, probably close to 100% magic damage. And it's not like I'm a shine away from doing good magic damage at this point. Oh, I have my shard now, cool. So. Which I did buy, I believe. I decided to grab this because Kez was kind of far away. And I wanted to be in the area to possibly do a combo here. I was thinking about when to go, basically. I don't have a full combo, so I can't, like, send it. At this point, it's a decent time to nuke because it's a little bit of a disengage moment. We're probably going to lose the Oracle maybe, but wanted to make sure that they couldn't continue chasing here. You might be wondering if I should buy like a Tranquil Boots or an Arcane, and I don't think Tranquils is a bad idea because there are times where you get really low HP. Like if I was getting nuked down to like 20% and then in danger afterwards of dying to a quick burst, then Tranquils would make a lot of sense. I just didn't really feel like I needed it this game. I think it's just kind of the heroes that I'm playing against. It was kind of like the perfect game to pick Skywrath Mage is what it feels like to me. Because there's basically two heroes who silence is really good against. We have a Dawn 5 who's not high enough damage for me to be like really worried about dying. Witch Doctor is not that big of a deal against me. He does pure damage with his ulti. I don't give a shit. My resistances aren't really that high anyways. And the one big nuke you have other than that pure damage is Magic Burst from Maledict. So, and I've got good magic resistance and good magic barrier. So I was not that worried this game. And even like Undying, my hero's not bad against him because I can ensure that I do a lot of damage to him. And if I get Tombstone, that's obviously not good, but just felt as a whole not too bad of a Sky game. And they have a lot of magic damage too, so the barriers that I'm creating for myself are quite effective. So that all felt good. We were waiting for Gabba to do the Tormentor, I believe. Took a little bit of doing, but
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
it's either Centaur or Witch Doctor that gets, or sorry, Oracle that gets it, and it ended up being Centaur. So that was nice for his net worth. I took a lot of damage there. Kind of needed a Warcry, but... So this is a good moment to have Arcane Boots, or Tranquil Boots. Arcanes are something you could also buy, but I just don't think they're as good on this hero as buying like a Kaya or something, personally. They give you some mana regen, but I think you just get more value from like int hybrid things, personally. This is kind of dangerous for me to even like fuck around with this, but I did see that they had a sentry and I wanted to protect my sentry. And take these little moon stones or whatever. Mad stones. So now I'm going to play kind of safe. I can always heal with my spell lifesteal, and that's something, another thing about Tranquil Boots that makes it a little bit unnecessary. Is that if you just use spells, you're getting heal anyways. 35% now against heroes. I don't know much against creeps, like what, an 8th or something? They killed my sentry. Those bastards killed my sentry. The 10 talent is something I used to be a little unsure about because it was mana regen and I think int is what it was. It was like 10 or something int, which is kind of good because that gives you what, 15 damage on Arcane Bolt. Now it's just Arcane Bolt cast range, which I am not that into. It's okay. Like your Arcane cast range is not that far. And some skies do classically get an Aether Lens so that you have a bigger mana pool, you have more mana regen, and it's easier for you to Ancient Seal without putting yourself in danger. Because right now, one of the problems with my hero is that I have to get within, like, danger range. Like, I'm in danger range when I'm casting spells. But again, this game, they don't have that big of worried. Like, there's not that many worries. If they have something like a PA or a Phantom Lancer or a Night Stalker or someone that's going to dive and run at me, then I'm certainly a lot more worried about getting gone on. But not really the case this game, so I kind of just could get away without buying any defensive items, which is abnormal. Kind of went separate ways here. Just checking the range on this guy. He's got a Blade Mail, which actually is not that bad against me. Or it's actually kind of useless against me. That's what I meant to say. Guy's still alive. He's just silenced. He doesn't even get to decay. So, the way the Blade Mail works is that my Mystic Flare is constantly attacking him, right? And every time it attacks him, it's giving me a barrier of 25 HP, I think. Because right now, it's a 10 plus my hero level, so 24. So I'm getting... Yeah, 24 HP magic damage, magic resistance barrier, and that damage that does damage to Undying will deal Blade Mail to me. But because every hit that I'm damaging him, I'm getting HP basically, and lifesteal. it looked like it basically went equal. So using Mystic Flare against Undying Blade Mail, it does not really bother me very much. Truly was not something to worry about. Trying to get a little bit more heal out of these little fairy lotuses. I'm gonna take the experience here. Get back to my team. Definitely got a combo in the making. What am I doing? My mana is extremely full, and I'm like over here like. Should have used Atos there, I think.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's courier has been killed.
I should have silenced this Witch Doctor. That was really bad. Killed him through his Ghost Scepter, which is nice. Oh, I really wanted that kill. I don't have the mana for this, unfortunately, so I'm just going to walk away.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But I fought for quite a while there. It's not terrible. I went Ancient Seal cooldown at 15. At 16, I think I ended up going mana regen, I'm pretty sure. Because I'm at a position where I can kind of just cast spells all fight. I also managed to get Whisper of the Dread for my tier 3, which is really good. That's 10% more spell damage. So now between Kaya and this, I'm doing 20% extra spell damage. And would I lose some daytime vision, but who cares. And then I also got Keen-Eyed, which is cast range, mana regen, and less max mana. And the max mana is a little bit bad, but more mana regen is justified, especially when I have Kaya, because this basically means 2 mana per second. As is this mana regen talent here. So now my mana regen's up to 16. Which means every like 5 seconds I can cast an Arcane Bolt for free, pretty much. And even though I was at 0, a little bit of like Clarity Potioning and item dropping and stuff puts me into a good spot in items, and I'm still bottom. I probably shouldn't be here. I could realistically go like do something with my teammates somewhere else on the map. But this is a nice little place to put pressure in. I'm gonna pick up this item to really solve my mana now. Now I'm extremely sad, the Tiara. I've started appreciating this a little bit more lately, and I talked about this on stream a little. But if you can fit this into your item build, especially with a Kaya on a hero that spends mana to farm, it feels really good to have all of this extra mana regen. Well, that was really close. I almost didn't get that off in time. And the Blade Mail really does nothing to me. The Tombstone does not feel good on if I'm Skywrath Mage, but if I'm in the back able to like cast spells against the Undying, that part feels really good. 26 mana per second. I'm just a spam machine. So if they can't jump and dive me, I am worried for them. And at this point we just had such a big net worth advantage from our core matchups that we were just in a good spot. Hex is a pretty fine transition on this hero. Again, if I was in danger at all, some kind of a survivability item would be nice. But being able to hex my opponents is very valuable. This is like a rare hero where Hex's stats are incredible on. The mana regen is fantastic. The int is fantastic. This is a 45 damage increase for Arcane Bolt if I get Hex finished. And right now I'm at 135 int, so 1.5 of that is about 200. So right now my Arcane Bolts are doing 350 each per target hit. And I'm life stealing 40% on anybody that I hit. I know he's got Atos, so I don't want to ulti him. I'll do that one to ensure that he dies though. I think I died to Blade Mail there actually. Smart of them to dive me though. Ooh, that was a nice cleanup. This is a fun chase, if I remember correctly. He really wanted him to die.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I had to tip him.
That was unreal.
It was too good.
Dire's middle tower has Dire's middle tower.
I think some occasional positivity towards your opponents is nice.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Not that it mattered, you know. It's like it wasn't a big deal, but he did evade him, so good for him, you know. I decided to buy my recipe, send the curry out to the secret shop, move to the top lane because that's where we're gonna game next.
Dire's top tower.
One thing that I played with a little bit in the past on Sky was playing like core and going survivability items, which is kind of cool. Doesn't work very good if you get stunned or silenced, but if you get a little bit of armor and HP on this hero, you're actually really survivable late game. Like, look at my stats right now. We're 35 minutes into a game. I'm a level 19 hero, and I just have 39% magic resistance. That's without any magic resistance items. That's solely from the amount of intelligence I have giving me base magic resistance, which goes on your base, by the way. So that gets just added to your 25%. So magic resistance gain from int increases is quite good. So, and usually you buy a lot of raw HP items on this hero, whether you're talking like, if you're playing like a core, you could buy Ags, you could buy like Octarine. You know, these are raw HP items, which basically mean that if you're not dying to physical damage, then your survivability against magic is higher than almost any heroes in the game. Just because you're also getting spell lifesteal, and you're also getting magic resistance from the spells you cast. So it's kind of a cool thing about the hero that you can do in some circumstances.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I almost let my friend die there. That was wild. He was slapping hard.
Dire's top barracks has fallen. Dire's top barracks are under attack. Dire's top barracks has fallen. The Radiant now have mega creeps. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
It's taken some time, but we're doing it. Definitely took some time. Alright, everyone is basically dead. So I decided to TP because I wanted to finish my Scythe of Ice before the game ended. Which would have been nice to have in that last fight, but it's okay. And there's my Hex. So 175 int is what I end at. 42% magic resistance. My nuke's doing about 500 damage each on a 2-second cooldown. Felt kind of good. So maybe a rare case where the opponents I was playing against were kind of like very, very easy in terms of matchups. But I think I still did a good job in terms of... laning stage was kind of goofy. But I think I did a nice job transitioning from laning stage into like mid-game ganks and being impactful in those. Like playing near Sven once or twice really changes the game a lot if we just get one or two of those kills. So occasional smokes, going with to a core that has a stun or a little bit of damage. Because Sky doesn't really need that much more damage. He's got shitloads of damage. What he's actually low on is disable. So pairing Sky with levels with pretty much any disable will usually get you a kill, unless it's against a hero like Tidehunter, Centaur, Primal Beast, like super, super tanky heroes. Those are the only ones that kind of give you worry. In terms of like damage dealt at the end of the game, I was one of the highest on the team, partially because I was just kind of spamming a lot of Arcane Bolts. But I did slightly more than Sven. I did almost as much as Centaur, and which ended up... I felt like we had a pretty well-rounded draft in my mind. So that was fun. I looked at the breakdowns before I started the replay because I know it always bugs it for some reason. But I think about 17k or so was just from Arcane Bolt. My ulti was actually pretty low. It was only like 6 to 8k or something like that. And my AoE won my second concussive shot. That was the second highest damage dealt. But in terms of damage received, look at the reduced number. Did we have a pipe, actually? We did have a pipe, so that was going to be part of it. But look at the reduced number. Magical, 63% reduced. So that means my magic resistance reducing it, and also my barrier reducing it. Whereas on physical, I took almost equal physical damage, and I only reduced 24% of it. And that was probably from like Warcry and my natural Poor Man's Shield or something like that. So I didn't reduce almost any physical damage, but the magical damage was pretty high. So very, very helpful. I don't know how I reduced pure damage. That one I'm not quite sure. Unless Poor Man's Shield works against pure. I don't think it should. Against Death Ward, I don't think it should though. What else could do it? Is there any like raw HP barrier? Like Gale Guard, for example, would do it, but I didn't get a Gale Guard. I'm not quite sure what reduced it, to be honest. But something reduced some of the pure damage that I was getting. So I do not know. Quap ulti is pure. Witch Doctor ulti is pure. The rest of it, not sure. Maybe that's Oracle ulti or something. If I get Oracle ultied, does it count as pure damage? And thus I could have resisted some of it. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's Skywrath Mage 4. It's not a great win rate. It's only like a 48%, I think. Is that what we checked beforehand? But in some circumstances, it can work. And if you do like ganking as a 4-position hero, then I think he is not necessarily good, but playable. Okay, thanks for watching. Goodbye.